gravity. One of the things that confuses me the most is that we don't really understand what gravity is.
Science can describe how gravity works, but can they describe why it works?
Can we?
So this is the how-why duality here. In science, if we can describe how something works and predict its future behavior, we claim to understand it and we move on. Get to Albert Einstein. Gravity is the curvature of space and time, and you're moving on the curvature of that fabric. That's gravity. Matter tells space how to curve, space tells matter how to move. I can describe what gravity is doing. I even have a mechanism for it. You say, why did it fall? I say there's a force of gravity operating on it. Why did it fall that way? Because of the curvature of space and time. I'm answering your whys.
I understand.
Then, well, why does matter and energy curve space and time? Okay, that's a frontier. We're still working on that.
Okay, that was good information, and I promised to begin with to take you guys back to school. We're taking you back to preschool. We're taking you back to being able to understand our world around us. And we don't have a perfect understanding of gravity, but our information is getting much better. So this is where we're going to take you now, is we're going to lean on Albert Einstein's time-space bending for gravity. But guess what? We're also going to use Nikola Tesla's density of electromagnetic fields for gravity as well. Are we doing all right so far? So let's say that there is a curvature of time and space that causes gravity. Now, doctor, I'm going to ask you, what if we were to have a mechanism that would bend the bending of time and space? We are already bending space and therefore bending time. So now if we have a tangential force of Nikola Tesla's electromagnetic field, now we're able to bend the already bending fabric of space and time. And I hope you are paying attention to this, because in math and physics there is an action and there can be an equal and opposite reaction. One of those fun laws that we learn. Well, this law I'm introducing you to is the equal and opposite reaction, which is the bending of space and time, that we will now call anti-gravity. Yes, anti-gravity being as this torus here, that you take the technology that keeps ices up in the atmosphere, but now we're going to bring it down. And now we're going to change a few calculations here, and we're going to allow the torus here to bend the already bending fabric of space around the Earth. And this does not stay around the Earth. It perpetuates along through interplanetary space and time. As long as there are any charged particles out there, as long as there's a fabric of space, there is the ability, the potential, the capacity to bend it, if you have the equipment to bend it. Guess what, doctor? I have it. I have developed that equipment. I have been working on it for 8 years. I have done many more experiments on it than any university or government around the world has. I've done well over 4,000 successful experiments. I have built my own prototypes, and they work. I have learned how to bend the bending fabric of space and time. And guess what? Your children are going to take rides in it because it doesn't use propellers, it doesn't use liquid fuels, it does not produce exhaust. What it does is the power units of my electromagnetic technology bends this space fabric around it ambiently, and yes, it has a direction force power, and yes, it works. A friend of mine said, when this all comes out, God is going to say, I wondered how long it would take you